think this will be a pretty short video. All I'm really doing is proving that I can get my little region mod board, that little thing right there. You see me do it to a Duo. I can't remember what else I've done it to, but I was asked if it would fit in this, and I think somebody said that it wouldn't, but I've actually had a look around and it will. However, we do need to modify the inside of this console just a hair. Okay, so I'll open up a PC Engine, maybe a CoreGrafx 1 at a later point, but I wanted to trial fit my little region mod board. That's about where it's going to sit, not quite. It'll be back this way a little more, but I just taped it on there just so I could shove it up into here and see if it would fit. Now anybody that knows what they're looking at says something's missing. Well, yeah, this thing is missing. It's just a hunk of metal. I'm assuming just some RF shielding that was sitting down in here. And there was just these little melted tabs of plastic holding it down there. And I just took the X-Acto knife and cut them off, remove that, and then there's a lot of extra room right there, which is needed to get that little board to fit on top of the HuCard connector. But I think that's all we have to do other than the regular mod, and that's perfect. Okay, before I add the wires to it, make it all messy, go ahead and give this a trial fit here. Feels like it's sit exactly flat to me. Super. Also looks like I can grab power from that cap right there. Oops. I guess I should show it from the 7805, right? Right leg. Yeah. So that'll be easy. And then we'll just have the 3 wires running to the switch, which I think I'll mount over here because of all the heat sink and stuff, all that stuff. Possibly behind the cord. Yeah. Well, there's that part out of the way. Looks pretty good. Just got a little 6 inches of lead on this switch. And that should do it for the region mod. Okay, so now it's time for pin 29 of the 6280 grounding. And I went ahead and lifted this one because I've never done a CoreGrafx II before. And yes, I get some flack for bending it back like that, but whatever. Anyway, what I wanted to tell you was pin 30 is not grounded on this console. You can see there's a little trace running off of it actually down to a via right here. But what I did want to say was there's no reason to lift the pin because the pad is gone right here, as you can see, and apparently it doesn't go anywhere. I got it hot enough to lift off of the board and destroyed it, but I can see back behind it there's no trace. So there's no reason to actually lift the pin. Just solder a wire to it over to ground somewhere and you're good to go. And there you have it, successfully playing Bonk's Adventure US version on the CoreGrafx II. So it works. Well, it wouldn't be right if there wasn't one more obstacle in the way. I had this little tab of metal right here, right where I put my switch hole. But it doesn't do anything, so I just worked it back and forth and it popped off. So now I can put it back together. Here's a look at it before I get her completely buttoned up. Switch, and then the region mod board is under here, obviously. Just got this wire right here to deal with. Actually, I might need to undo those 3 bolts and get that wire to come out the side a little better. But one of the tricks that I wanted to share with everybody that I'm using now for a couple months, I can't remember who suggested this first, but I think it was on a comment on a YouTube video. But that was to use baking soda as an accelerant for super glue, and it works amazing. If you got a big glob and you put just, I usually just get a pinch of it and then let it down over the super glue and then just dump it back off in there and then blow it off. You know, operate the switch, make sure I get all of it out of the inside of it. It won't exactly set it, I won't say, but it definitely makes the surface to where you can touch it and you won't get it on you. But I have had such a big glop of super glue with this stuff on top, and I was able to still push it, almost like kind of bust it open, and fresh super glue comes out, so be aware of that. And I have actually had switches come loose, you know, very, very soon after doing that. So it really only accelerates the surface of the super glue, but it's still very, very good for getting you going in the right direction quicker. Here is your finished product. Pretty cool LED placement, I like that. Right next to word power. It's mostly flush, not very bright. And it has been RGB modded too, and I'll get to that in a later video. But there you go, playing a US Box Adventure just fine.